Sometimes our anxiety and negative thoughts come from our garbage boundaries. I'm Bridget Hart, coach, business consultant, and blossoming mystic. I hope that you enjoy the content I'm about to bring you today, and don't forget to subscribe down below, like the video, and leave me a comment because this is all about interacting with you. This is the third video in a series about how to stop letting anxiety and negative thoughts ruin your life. Click up above to watch my video 1 and number 2 that I already did, talking about how our spoken word or talk and our thoughts play into this process. Today, I'm going to begin diving into the topic of self-love and how that can have an influence on our anxiety and negative thinking. Now, obviously, self-love is a giant topic, but in the Hart Habits, which is the framework I created to help my coaching clients and my consulting clients move through massive transitions with alignment and love at the core of their movement. And I break down 4 areas that we need to look at when we're talking about whether or not we're really taking care of ourselves. The first of those 4 areas is boundaries, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So, as we know, there's always a yin and a yang to everything, a good and a bad, a shadow side and a bright side, right? And boundaries are no exception. As you'll see from some of these photos I'm sharing of my garden, you can see where boundaries can have the potential to be very good or also very bad, right? Boundaries can keep us tight and small, and really, it can choke the life out of us if our boundaries are too tight, too close. On the other hand, though, when our boundaries are the right space for us to be able to flourish, being able to keep those boundaries clear can sometimes be the key to making sure that we're honoring ourselves and giving ourselves what we need to grow. When you're making boundaries, those really help to define you. Think about a beautiful ceramic vase. If it didn't have walls on the vase, it would not be effective for holding and pouring liquids, right? It needs to have walls so that we can know how to use it. And you are the same. Now, I believe all energy, we're all connected, we're all interconnected. We're kind of like a lava lamp on this earth where we're all inside, but our blobs just separate out into different shapes, different forms. We're the same thing though, right? We're all God, but we get to inhabit our individual vessels that look like our body, our life. And so our boundaries are what kind of help define who am I in this world and how do I walk in this world? How do I interact with other people around me? What matters to me? What are my priorities, right? So a lot of times when we're talking about boundaries, I tell people, well, if you feel like your boundaries are being crossed by others, then perhaps that has something to do with how you're prioritizing your time or how you're prioritizing yourself, because you will prioritize those things that are important to you, whether you realize it or not. That will happen consciously or subconsciously. And if you don't know what's important to you specifically, other people are more than happy to lend you their cares and the things that matter to them for you to make those boundaries yours as well. Be careful not to do that. Your boundaries should be yours alone. Your boundaries also help inform where you're going to go, right? Because what you put your energy towards is what you're going to get more of. All right. Now, this works with talking. This works with thinking. This works with a lot of things, but this definitely also works with boundaries. Okay. So think about where you're trying to go and how your boundaries can help channel your energy towards those goals. Now, a lot of times people have difficulty with knowing where their boundaries should be. Should they give money to their cousin? Should they allow their friends to move in? Should they keep working this job that is really underpaying them and undervaluing them and overworking them? And honestly, there is no right or wrong answer. Only you know what works for your life, for your boundaries. I can tell you what I think. Other people can tell you what they think, but none of those things matter because you're the only one existing in your body, in your life, okay? So the best way for you to evaluate whether your boundaries are where they need to be is by evaluating how do they feel. How do they feel when they're in place and they're honored? How does it feel when they are not in place? And how does it feel when they're not honored? Evaluate and really pay attention to those feelings, because your body and mind are very powerful. And as you are consciously making changes in your life, you will feel The more you pay attention, the more you'll feel the resistance to things that you want to move away from, and you will feel drawn to those things that you are really trying to move towards. Okay, so see how you feel. Does it make you feel free? Does it make you feel liberated? Does it make you feel oppressed? Does it make you feel angry? Does it make you feel resentful? What do the boundaries do for you? And that will help you determine whether they need to change or not. For example, if you're feeling like those boundaries are a little too tight, maybe it means you need to break out a little bit. Maybe you need to leave a group. Maybe you need to tell someone you're going to do it your own way. But if your boundaries are feeling a little too loose and you're feeling a little out there on your own, maybe you need to find your community, pull in some supports, and make sure that you have good people around you to help support the boundaries that you want in your life. So that's it for this week. That's all I'm going to talk about right now. But come back again, because I have 3 more little sub areas of self-love that I want to talk to you about when it comes to how to keep those anxiety and negative thoughts at bay and keep them from ruining your life. I've been there. I know what it's like, and I made it through. So I know that you can too. In the meantime, keep your head up and know I love you.